unpredictable right now. He's quiet 1 second in his own world, then all of a sudden he blows up. You saw him. Her health is so fragile right now. I don't think it's a good idea for them to be living together right now.
Okay, but you know what happened, right? Carly just guilted him, and he decided to go back
Carly does not manipulate her children. Bet nobody's gonna be saying the same about you.
Hey, you know what? You don't like me. I got it. I live here, though, and I don't see myself moving out anytime soon. So maybe, if it's so intolerable for you to be around me, you should meet Sonny somewhere else. And maybe while you're at it, Jason, you should get a life of your own.
Claudia is no dummy. She could be. It doesn't take a genius to tell that by the time it took Michael to have surgery, you went from disliking Claudia to hating her guts. There has to be a reason. Give it to me.
So, Ollie gave me up for adoption. And, you know, I'm really okay with that. My adoptive parents were wonderful people, you know. They loved me unconditionally, just as I loved them. That's when they died. You know, I took off. I didn't want to get stuck with some foster family. But now I can carry a piece of my mom and dad with me everywhere I go, as I build my life, you know. I'm sorry. This must be just killing you.
No. You can keep going. It's okay.
Well, you know the rest. You know, I show up and Holly's dropped me in the midst of the chaos she's strewn about from afar. But now that I know her, I realize she could have kept me. You know, she's made a very comfortable living for herself running scams. As far as I can tell, she got rid of an inconvenience. Until, at least, she needed me to sink her hooks into Luke.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Holly is the only mother that you've got, right? And I'm sure she had her reasons for what she did. They probably seemed logical to her at the time, and even if she was wrong, she gave you life. She carried you for 9 months, even though she couldn't keep you. And I know from experience that that is a very difficult decision to make either way.
From experience?
That's a story for another time. The point that I want you to understand is that Holly gave you to a couple that loved you, your word, unconditionally, right? So, I don't know, instead of being pissed off at her, maybe you should say thanks.
When I met your father, I recognized a kindred spirit the moment our eyes met.
Me too, English.
Kindred spirits. I'm really touched.
How much do you know about my history with your father? I mean, do you know that I was pregnant by him before, a long time ago? But I didn't get the chance to tell him because I was told that he'd been killed in an avalanche. And then I had to marry his best friend, Robert, because I was about to be deported. And then I miscarried that baby. And I had to have our second child adopted.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for you.
That time in Singapore could have been a chance, our chance finally for us to be together, but your father chose not to take it. He walked away from me because he loved you and because he loved his family. Why doesn't he get any credit with you for that?
Lucky, I know that this is a lot to take in. It's complicated and everyone involved is overwhelmed. But Ethan is a fact and there's no wishing him away.
Well, this is me.
A song by Paul Beckman, Polyable Song. Created June 2nd, 2009. Using the
I know no one listens to you.
guitar chords A minor at the 5th fret and A minor at the 3rd fret. The song is going to be called Learning to Accept One Another. Created June 2nd, 2009. Well, we all must learn to accept one another, our differences and samenesses. Oh yeah, we've got to learn how to accept one another, just like our mother and our father. We've got to learn how to accept. Learn how to accept one another in this world, in this whole wide world now. We've got to learn. Oh, we've got to learn how to accept one another in this world. It's the only thing that will cause peace to happen and become a reality, but not until each person begins to see how we've all got to accept one another in this world, or there'll be no peace. If we don't accept one another, all that's left is hate. Ooh, hate leads to violence. Hate leads to criminal acts against others. Bias, prejudice. Well, we've got to learn how to accept one another in this world, and we'll work out all the quirks. By accepting one another in this world, whether our mother and father, relatives and family, strangers or lovers, by accepting everyone in this world who lives as a brother or sister, as someone you can respect, will improve this world, will improve this lifetime. You'll get back so much more in kind by learning to love and accept one another. Yeah.
Amateur athletes shoot for the stars, and we've got them covered. It's the Sports Star of the Week, every Tuesday on CTV News at 6. Brought to you by Manitoba Egg Producers. Eggs, rich in protein for lasting energy.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by TV's hot legal drama, Raising the Bar. The complete first season, now on DVD.
That was a spirited defense, darling. Much appreciated, though ultimately wasted.
Well, you never know, some of it might get through. I don't understand how a boy you raised can end up being a man that knows you so little.
That's a long, grisly story. Like he's been disappointed in me for a long time now. Seems to be getting worse. I'm hoping our little bundle of joy likes me better.
He already does. I have no doubt that the two of you will always get on like a house on fire. And you know, you have the same generosity that lets you make allowances for other people's weaknesses.
Weaknesses are what make people unique. I'm far more interested in flaws than perfection.
But you know, our son hates me, and I don't blame him.
I'm willing to work on that. Very wise little Oriki just suggested that I suspend my judgments long enough to express my gratitude. You did more than just give me away. You carried me, gave me life, and then put me with the best family possible. And then years later you sought me out and sent me to meet my father. So, thank you.
We made one hell of a kid there, didn't we, Miss Sutton?
Yes, we did.
And now, you're leaving, aren't you?
Wait, now?